All right, good morning, Alta agents. I'm Kevin Lauren. I'm the Director of Training and Marketing here at Alta Realty Group, and today we're going to be going over the Sierra Interactive automated action plans. So, sounds super fancy, I know, but action plans are they're basically drip campaigns, but they're drip campaigns that incorporate texts, also voicemails and emails. So it's kind of a three-pronged approach to creating drip campaigns. So they're much more effective. The Sierra analytics show that they get engagement about 50% more than a regular text, just an email drip campaign. So really good stuff and good tools that the Sierra Interactive um, platform offers our agents. So good stuff. Before we get into today's presentation, we're going to bring Bill Seitz, the corporate broker of Alta Realty Group, on the line. And good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Alta agents. How are we today?
We are firing on all cylinders, my friend.
Cool. Well, I don't know what kind of any weird weather yesterday. We had a bunch of lightning and thunder down here yesterday afternoon. It was kind of wild.
Yeah, yesterday on the Central Coast, it was nice and sunny and kind of high clouds. Almost had that like tropical feel. So I bet you guys had some interesting weather.
Yeah, really rare for this time of year. But I was talking to Mel Chappelle out in the desert. She said they were getting some of that too. So a little early for that time of stuff, but it was cool. It was nice.
Yeah,
Different.
exactly. It's nice when anything but the June gloom will take.
We've got it back. It's back today.
Yep, it's back here on the Central Coast as well. It's normal.
Yep. Okay, so real quick, Kevin, I think Amelia will be on here in a second to review a couple things. I sent out the Broker Tuesday tip. I thought this was a good little read through for everybody. Just a reminder of we talk about psychology and talk about sales, and part of our job is to be good at being good salespeople, right? I mean, if anyone has any experience in doing formal sales or formal sales training, we deal with a lot of different types of people. We deal with, engineers and people that are, deal with a lot of math, and they want to talk numbers. And they, when you recognize that, you need to be able to speak their language, right? Other people are like super social people. They just want to sit down and talk about, maybe their kids and their work or whatever. And they're not really too focused on the actual transaction, but they want to have that time with you and talk about life and blah blah blah, right? So it's all these different types of personalities that come across in this business and in sales in general, and it's really important, I think, to know that when you're as soon as you know that, like, I know that if I have to deal with an engineering type, I know it's all about the numbers. That's what they want to talk about. That's what they're going to be focused on. And if you don't speak that way, you're speaking a foreign language to them, right? So, part of the broker tip yesterday was just what makes people, personality traits of good salespeople, and the number one thing at the list is being a good listener. And don't think anybody can be good in sales if you're not a good listener. Listening is kind of I think, a lost art these days sometimes, and we forget to, just not speak or let the client or let the person that our prospect talk, find out what they're doing, truly listen to what their needs are, and then formulate a plan around those needs. Many times we just are, too quick to kind of not pay attention to that, but listening skills, I think, is one of the biggest things. And I think you'll agree with that.
Bill, nobody likes a salesperson that just keeps rambling and just talks to hear themselves talk. That is the huge turnoff, and that's a surefire way to lose a client.
100%. And then obviously there's a few other ones: humor, caring, obviously being authentic. That one's a big one. If you're not authentic, people are going to see right through who you are. And if you're just out there for the sale and you're not doing this for the right reasons and it's not coming across authentically, you're probably not going to get a client. And then having confidence and passion is the last couple. There's a few others in there, but being confident in what you do. And a lot of that too comes from the stuff that we talk about here on the webinars, is giving you confidence that the market, what's going on, in the micro and macro components of real estate and in the financial world, confidence will go a long way, and it'll also separate you from the rest of the pack.
For sure. No, and I like that note. Confidence is not arrogance. Arrogance is not a good trait, but confidence is really attractive to really anybody. So that's a really good point.
Yeah. And lastly, passion. People can pick that out. If you're passionate about what you do and you really enjoy helping people and you really enjoy real estate, it does come with challenges. But if you're passionate about it and you wake up every day wanting to do a good job and help your clients, that will shine through. So this is just a fun little reminder of the types of attributes that make successful people. And I think most of us can relate to this list.
For sure. No, I like that you put that out. About once or twice a year, we do a webinar about, the habits of the top producing agents. And this just kind of lends itself to that. So really good stuff, Bill. Appreciate that. So now let's switch gears and bring Amelia Hollow from Clearview Mortgage on the line. Let me share my other screen with you guys. And Amelia, good morning. How are you doing today?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. In the mortgage market, things have been pretty unmoving. It seems like it's just a wait and see time frame right now, overall. So the financial data that's rolling in, like I was reading this morning, it was like a one piece of news that was bad for rates, followed by one piece of news that was good for rates when it came to like the jobs reports and stuff that have been rolling out. So it's kind of neutralizing movement, although we did get a couple little positive rate prices this morning, meaning better rates, or better pricing for the rates that we have access to. So not a bunch of movement, just kind of waiting it out still. But we did have some exciting news from one of our top lenders. And, we talk about being wholesale mortgage brokers, but if anybody's new and doesn't know, we have access to, I think, like over 20 lenders who we can do business with. But we definitely have our go-tos when it comes to those A-paper clients, the conventional government borrowers that don't need the non-QM bank statement, self-employment loans. And that's because we have relationships with the lenders. They give us perks. They have a streamlined process, excellent communication with underwriting. It just makes it so much easier to get things done. And when you've worked with a lender who doesn't have that style of communication, you know that can create so many issues during an escrow process when the timeline is short. So with that being said, our top lender that we go to when we can has just rolled back out their 5/1 ARM product for government loans. They've had ARMs for conventional products this whole time, but it's been a pretty ugly product, for lack of better words. It's just been, to get that ARM, you'd have to pay $40,000 in buy down or something crazy. So ARMs have kind of been out of play with the lenders that I look to, but this 5/1 ARM for VA and FHA coming back is actually really huge because the rates are lower for the ARM than they are for the fixed product for these government deals. And you qualify off of that rate. You don't have to qualify off of the rate plus 1 or 2% like you do with conventional. So if you have people, and just to clarify again, if you don't know, 5/1 ARM would be fixed for 5 years at the rate that you select and lock into, and then it becomes adjustable annually from there, whether the rates have gotten higher or lower. So sometimes it can work in your favor. But yeah, the idea would be that this would be a really good sale for clients who are only planning to occupy this home for 3 or 5 years, and really anybody in this market, because we do anticipate being able to refinance before that 5-year mark hits where it would become adjustable. And of course, with FHA and VA, we have the opportunity to streamline refinance, which just means that it's a refinance to lower the rate only, no cash out. But if rates drop, we can do that for our clients with no income verification, no hard credit pull. They just check the mortgage payment history for 12 months and use the score. And then the last one's no appraisal. So it's a really beautiful refinance opportunity that comes hand in hand with the FHA and VA loans. So if you've got these clients, have that conversation with them because, this is just going to make it a little easier. I know I've got some FHA people we've been talking to, and now I get to call them back and let them know, we're going to get them kind of like about a quarter of a point better rate now if they're open to this ARM product. So it's a really good one, and it's a good conversation starter.
Awesome. Oh, go ahead, Bill.
Yeah, excellent information, Amelia. Thanks for covering that. Typically people have maybe a negative stigma with ARMs, but when used appropriately in the right markets and the right circumstances, they can be very effective tools in financing. And the fact that they've rolled these out and made the qualifications so easy, this is definitely something worth talking to your clients about, or at least sending them over to Amelia to see if it's a fit for them. So that's an awesome tool. Thank you for summarizing that, Amelia. That's great stuff.
Yeah, we may be able to revisit some old pre-approvals that weren't looking like they were working with this coming into play, because some of them are close and they go down to 580 credit. So it's a really good option.
Wow, that is great. Awesome, Amelia. So easy to get a hold of Amelia Hollow from Clearview Mortgage. I send out her information on all of the replays and all of the invites for the webinars. You can also just reach her at amelia@cvmloans.com. So good stuff there. Also, huge reminder, if you haven't used Raquel Bauer from Legacy Escrow yet, an amazing escrow officer. Really, if you want your transaction to go smoothly, she's the one to go with. She's got over 28 years of experience, and she is just a consummate professional. So don't hesitate to contact Raquel for any of your escrow needs. Her information's here, and her information is always on the replays as well as the invites for the webinars. So reach out to Raquel and introduce yourself if you haven't.
Yeah.
All right.
One last thing.
Sure.
I know Don Kearney here on the webinar will be happy. I'm going to mention this. He brought it to my attention yesterday, and I had read it. But CRMLS, which I think most of us are with, but I think most of the MLSs in California are changing the terms from days on market, DOM. We all see that on the MLS printouts, DOM, days on market, is now it's changing to DAM, days active in the MLS. So they're changing that terminology, and they're also doing cumulative days on market is now cumulative days active in the MLS. So they're basically, the calculation method for these terms are the same. They're just tinkering with the acronym and the terminology, but just be aware of that. That's a little side note here. If you're seeing DAM instead of DOM, just know that it means the same thing. Basically, and they always got to tinker with something.
Can't leave it be, right?
No, that's probably the most frustrating thing about this is the constant change. I don't mind a little bit of change, but constant change is, we got to stay on our toes.
Oh, big time. Thanks, Don, for pointing that out and for reminding us to mention that to all the agents. We do appreciate you, Don. All right, thanks, Bill. So let me switch gears here. So with our Sierra Interactive system, we've got an amazing way to follow up with our clients and our prospects. So in order for you to activate this, what I'm going to show you, what you need to do is, and I'm really excited, a lot of the new agents that have joined us have joined Program 2, which gives you access to the Sierra Interactive product. And so really, kudos to you guys, having that CRM and having the website system that connects to the CRM is, I think, just such an important part of being a real estate professional. So good on you guys. So when you're in your Sierra Interactive system, you're going to click on Edit Profile. It's going to come here, and if you haven't done so already, you're going to click on this dialer right here, and you're going to link your phone to the Sierra system. And so what also is kind of cool is it does give you what I call an office number. So this could be your office number here. And so you can, and when text messages and or voicemails are going out to your client via the system, it's going to come from this this phone number here. And so you'll see it in your dialer profile. And so what you can do is you can tell your prospects that, you know, you have your personal number, your cell number, and you have your office number, right? And so that then they're not confused on, you know, what phone number you're using. So you can create a voicemail greeting, which I've done because it's in green. And then you can also create a whole list of pre-recorded voicemails that you can use. So really important to set that up, or it's mandatory to set it up if you want to use these, what we call action plans. So once you've done that, you can go into your leads and you'll see the drip campaigns here and then action plans here. So let's click on action plans. And so there are 3 basic action plans that the Sierra system already has set up. You can also just create your own action plans from scratch. Not a problem at all. But let's just go through the first one. So this one is for buyers. This one is for open house registrations, which we'll go into, and I'll show you exactly how to utilize those. And then this one is for sellers. So let's click on this one here, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So, like I said, these are a combination of voicemail messages, text messages, and emails. So when somebody, you know, comes to your website, or you send someone to your website and you tell them to register as a buyer, within 3 minutes, they're going to get a voicemail. And so the voicemail is something that you will, you know, you'll actually record that yourself.
Hi, this is Kevin Lauren with Alta Realty Group here in Newport Beach. Just wanted to thank you for visiting my website. And I think you were on there just a little bit ago. But if I can help you with any of your upcoming home move needs or any searches, please let me know. And I'll try back again a little bit later today. Thanks a lot.
So I think you guys could hear that. But anyway, that is, you know, your preliminary voicemail. It does, the system will send it straight to voicemail. It won't even, you know, it'll ring their number for, you know, 1 ring, and then it'll go straight to voicemail. So that is just a first ping. And then within another 15 minutes, the system will send a text message. And so it's literally going to say this: "Hi, lead first name. I just tried to call you. Are you looking for a home to live in, or are you an investor looking for a fix and flip or rent? This is Kevin Lauren," with, you know, and it'll say your website name, which in all cases is, you know, kevinlauren.argca.co. And so you're pinging this person again. And so the way that these action plans are set up is, if they respond, it will stop in the succession of the other things that are in the action plan. So you're not going to, you know, look weird if, you know, they call you back and you start talking to them, and then, you know, day 2, you know, these other things, you know, kick in. That would sound weird. You know, you're like, I just talked to you. What are you talking about? So, so 30 minutes after registration, you're going to send them an email. And it reminds me a little bit of, if you guys have seen The Office, it was an old episode of The Office, and kind of the nerdy young tech guy created something, and I forget what he called it. It was called like a blast or something like that, and it would send, you know, a person a text, an email, and a fax or something like that all at once. So it's kind of like that system. So so on the 30 minutes later, an email is going to go out, and it's just going to say, you know, "Hi, lead first name. I just tried to call you because I wanted to find out a little bit more about your home search. So I may send, you know, so I may send you some homes that meet your exact search criteria." It's simple. So you've got this other nice, you know, email that gets sent to them. And then, of course, once they do respond, what you're going to do is you're going to, let me just go into a lead. We got to just go through all this stuff really, really thoroughly so you understand this. So once you have a person that, you know, you've spoken to, and we'll just use this person here. once you have somebody that you've spoken to, the best thing to do, and this is one of Rhonda's, you're going to go to searches, and Rhonda's already done this, and you're going to set up a in what they call an e-alert, which is just an email that goes out to a particular client and gives them all of the information about homes in their area and in their price range. And it can be daily, and this one is, or it can be weekly, or it can be bi-weekly, whatever you'd like. So that is what you'll do as soon as you do have somebody that, you know, responds to this action plan. So then day 2, we have another email that goes out at 9:15 a.m. and it says, you know, good morning. It will say morning. Good morning, you know, John. Yesterday you were online on our website checking out some homes for sale, and I'm following up to see what you thought of the listing I sent you this morning, right? And then at 10:20, they're going to get another voicemail, and the voicemail is going to say this.
Good morning. This is Kevin Lauren with Alta Realty Group again. I thought I'd try catching up with you real quick. Sent you an email this morning, and I wanted to make sure that I've got the right info. Sometimes my emails do get stuck in the spam filter or junk filters. Anyway, I'll try you back in a few days. Have a great day, and thanks again for shopping at my website.
Boom. Super quick, super easy, not pushy. And then later that afternoon, they're going to get another text message. Hi, John. Just checking to see when we might be able to talk or meet about your possible upcoming move, right? So you just, it's a, I would say, not a pushy succession of emails, text messages, and voicemails, but it's persistent. And as we all know, everybody gets busy, and, you know, you're not going to, in most cases, you're not going to respond to maybe the first 2 or 3, but at some point throughout the week, because this is a week-long action plan, probably going to either boil this thing to a head and they're going to call you back and say, I'm not interested, go away, or yes, I would like information. And so we want to do one of two things. We want to make sure that if they are interested and we're the right fit for them, they're going to communicate with us. They're going to get back to us. If not, we want to move them out of the way and get on to the next prospect. So nobody's wasting their time. You know, you're not wasting their time. They're not wasting your time. So you're definitely boiling this to a head, which is, I think, super important. And then day 4, you know, they're going to get another voicemail. And day 5, they're going to get an email. And then we're going to give them 1 day off. And then day 7, another voicemail and another text message. Okay. And so you guys can go through these on your own. But let's take a look real quick at the next one, which is the open house registration. So the open house registration is awesome. So what you'll do is when you're having an open house, you'll open up the, you know, the property detail page on your website. And so you'll just go into your website, type in the address, and then it'll pop up, you know, whatever. And this is one of our brand new agents, Nick Akhtar. So glad that Nick is already getting listings. Super proud of him. So what you'll do is when you pull this up, you're just going to put your cursor on the very end of this. And this is so cool. You're just going to put in open house. Press enter. And all of a sudden, we have an open house registration sheet. And so this is one of the best ways to get people into your CRM. Okay, so you're just going to have this open on a laptop, on a, you know, iPad, or even on your phone, and just have people register. And you can register them. You know, you can say, okay, hey, give me your first name, give me your last name, give me your email. And then, you know, how soon are you looking to buy? And then are you working with an agent? Yes or no? So super simple. It's just a 1-page deal. And so utilizing this will now interact with our Sierra Interactive CRM. So when somebody registers from that, boom, they, as long as you set this up, will be part of this open house succession of text mails, voicemails, and emails, right? So, and the same thing, I just haven't set this one up yet, but you will record. All you have to do is click here, record now, and it will give you exactly what to say. So let me just do this real quick. So here's the script. So it literally gives you the script. And so you can just, you're going to click on, you can call in, or you can, just click here, record via your headset or via your microphone. And you're going to say, hey there, this is Kevin Lauren with Alta Realty Group. Wanted to thank you for stopping by the open house today. It was great to see you. I was just wondering if you have any feedback about the property and what your home buying needs are at this time. I would love to chat with you about it. You can give me a call back at this number anytime. I look forward to hearing from you. So it literally gives you the script, which is unreal. And so it's the same for all of the other ones too. So same thing here, the voicemail gives you the script again, and you just read it naturally. And if you can record it as many times as you want. You can just delete the recording. You're like, oh, I messed up. So it makes it almost foolproof to just create these action plans, or drip campaigns on steroids, to make sure that you're following up with these prospects in the most effective way. And like I said at the beginning of the webinar, the analytics from Sierra Interactive show that these are way more effective than a regular drip campaign. So you guys can also just read through these. They're really effective. Same thing, and this is, again, a succession of emails and text messages. And the text messages are, they read well, they look good. The voicemails have that really good, you know, uh, they already just lead you down the path. They sound good when you just go by off the script, and I think that they're amazing. Let's just go and see the last one. The last one is for sellers. So when sellers come to your site and they're looking for, homes, they're looking for someone to help them sell, it's going to have a completely different angle, of course. So same thing. Within 7 minutes, they're going to get a voicemail. Here's the script again. Reads well. Hi there, this is Kevin Lauren with Alta Realty Group. Thank you for visiting my property valuation site. So we do have, everybody does have a property valuation site that they can use in outbound marketing. And so when somebody fills that out, we get, this succession of voicemails, emails, and text messages. So sometimes there are other factors that really make a difference in how a home is priced. These factors are often not reflected in these types of estimates. I would like to find out more about details about the property so I can give you the most accurate idea of its value. Please call me back at your convenience. My number is blah, blah, blah. Call anytime. So really good scripts, by the way. Love them. And so same thing, just a really good succession of texts and emails, engaging, not pushy, just making sure that you are, getting to the point, and you're making sure that you are, doing everything that you can as an agent to stay top of mind. And so again, what you can do is you can, if you don't like exactly what these say, what you can do is you can duplicate these, and you can go ahead and create your own, or you can go in and you can edit these. So all you have to do is go to new action plan, create a completely new one, or you can just edit. You can duplicate and edit the ones that are already there. So super simple to use. This is not hard stuff at all, and it is definitely effective. And what's also cool is once you, especially for the open houses, once you've been using them, first of all, you'll find out which leads, the leads will be in this area, and you'll also be able to see the metrics of the response rate, unsubscribes, all these different things that you can use in your own metrics to understand what's working, what's not working. You might see that a lot of your clients are kicking out on a certain day or a certain message, and then you can tweak that message to something maybe that will be a little bit more effective. So really, really great stuff, guys. If you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me and make an appointment with me, and we can go through this stuff together. But I really like everybody on program 2 to be utilizing this system, especially the open house registration, because I know how effective it is, and it's working for a lot of our other agents. So with that said, Bill, do you have any takeaways from the automated action plans available to our agents?
I have a question.
Shoot.
You could set up one of these for, remember when DJ came on and went through, you could buy basically lists and phone numbers and in certain geographical areas.
Yes.
So could you set up one of these for targeting listings where you basically get the data from title, build your own seller database, and do a custom campaign on that?
Sure. Absolutely.
That would be absolutely amazing.
Oh, unbelievable, Bill. Yeah. So you can customize these any way you want. Again, what you'll do is you'll just duplicate the plan or start from scratch and build out an entire action plan just for that. And so imagine you have, the phone numbers and emails for people in a farm, and you just create an action plan that is completely dialed around that. No problem.
That to me sounds like a really amazing opportunity, because if you can get 200-300 people in, with the title stuff is interesting, because you can look at, we know that the typical person stays in their home, 7 to 10 years, but you could target people that have been in their home, 10 plus years, right? You can extract the data really granularly and get people that have been in their homes for, a decade plus, knowing that just statistically they're more likely to be selling or want to know what's going on in the market or what their house is worth. And then you could build that campaign like you're doing with all this automation. And that to me is, sounds really good. You know what I mean?
Oh, heck yeah. So imagine this is the way that I would perceive that. So the first thing would be a voicemail, and it would say, hey, I'm offering, a special one-time, expert evaluation of your home in in that area, right? It's all going to be in one area in this example. And so it's like, okay, I'm offering a special one-time Costa Mesa home evaluation for certain residents, and I want you to take advantage of it, right? Please call me back, blah, 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 and I'll get started for free, right? Something like that. Then there'll be a text message that says the same thing, and then an email that follows up, right? So you can imagine this, and the same rule applies. They're either going to say, hey, go pound sand, or yeah, I'll take advantage of that, but you have nothing to lose.
No, and you can also start branding yourself as the go-to. You know what I mean? Like it's as long as like you said, as long as it doesn't come across as, when we talked about earlier, unauthentic, or as long as it comes across as you're passionate and you're serving the community and you're doing something, like it's going to shine through that message. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can also, put this together with like another offer. Imagine this: you get one of your ancillary service providers from your business network that we always talk about, and you get them to offer some kind of like special deal, like a special one-time window cleaning or something like that, and you split that with your your ancillary service provider. You say, hey, I'm going to be doing this in this area, and why don't you cover half the cost? I'll cover half the cost, and we're going to get out to 200 people in the area. What do you think about that, Bill?
Yeah, creativity wise, the sky's the limit on this stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You just got to get the, once again, we always go back to you got to get the list. You know what I mean? You got to have people to communicate with. And I think this is super effective. I mean, I could, my mind's going in like 4 different directions with this at this point. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. You could offer any kind of, special offer, and just, everybody's different. Everybody has their different, areas of expertise. So whatever it is for you, think about how you could apply this to a farm or to some other group. Some of you work with military people, or you work with, elderly people, or whatever your specialty is, right? So you could think of some way to, apply this to exactly what your situation is.
Yeah, I mean, and just at the most basic level, the open house registration is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
If somebody's walking in an open house, they have home buying or home viewing on their mind, so they're already a better proposition for conversion. So that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that's an easy one. You'll get some people that will unsubscribe or whatever, but that's okay. But that's just,
that, I mean, like, that's just part of leads. Like,
exactly.
Can't take it personally. Like, you almost want that to happen, because that just means you're that much closer to getting an actual a real one. You know what I mean? You want to be actually shedding the bad ones, because you're, like I said, you're that much closer to a good one.
You stole the words out of my mouth.
Well, you and I are no stranger to this kind of stuff. We've been doing this for a long time, so it's just part of the deal.
20 plus years, my friend. Longer, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyway, that is the bulk of the presentation today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys, it piqued your interest in ways to do really, really solid follow-up and, really push your business forward. So
I had one more question, Kevin. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
Does that voicemail, does it go just straight to their voicemail? The phone doesn't ring?
It does not go. I think it will ring like once, and then it goes straight to the voicemail.
Okay, so that's good, because that's the way they want it to work. They don't want, you got this script, and you don't want the system calling, and then it's like ringing, and you're like, oh wait, I thought this. Now I'm live.
Yeah, nope, doesn't do that. So
okay, got it. That makes sense. Cool.
It's sneaky.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Kevin. This has been a very productive webinar, and this is good for all you guys that are interested in finding new ways to use technology and to get leads converted and to grow your business.
That's a fact, Bill. All right. Well, agents, thanks so much for joining. Really appreciate you guys spending the time with us every Wednesday. And so with that, get out there, make it a great day, a productive day, and we will see you all next week on the Wednesday webinar. Bye-bye.